What is up, Wolfpack? Call me Spiderman. So I'd have to say that the very first Spider-Man game that I played was one on, like, I think the Nintendo 64. I don't know, it was a super old Spider-Man game. I'll try to put a picture up here so that y'all can see the game that I'm talking about. Maybe some gameplay, some footage of it. But yes, this was the very first Spider-Man game that I ever played. I don't know if it was the movies or if it was the cartoons or if it was the game, but I love Spider-Man. I grew up loving Spider-Man. Not just that, out of all the freaking heroes that I mean, maybe not out of all of them, but at the time when I think about the most common mainstream heroes of Marvel, just think of the Avengers: Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America. How many of these heroes do you see really beating up their foes and making fun and cracking jokes at them with them when you're fighting them? Now I know some of them do, but the amount of times that Spidey does this is just great. Plus, Spidey's so relatable. I mean, we're, you know, especially if, like, you're younger, you go to school, maybe you go to college, like, you get it. Peter Parker is a student, you know, like, we can relate. We can relate. Now, the game that I'm going to be reviewing today is Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Nice. What to a lot of people is considered the best Spider-Man game to have ever come out. At least up until before the new one, you know, Marvel Spider-Man. Which, by the way, I have the freaking special edition to it. Collector's edition. I've yet to make a video of me unboxing this beautiful thing, but I figure we're talking about Spider-Man, I might as well have it here. Bruh. But anywho, as I was saying, up until before this game, so many people thought that Spider-Man Web of Shadows was the best Spider-Man game to ever come out. And I'm not gonna lie, I have never played this game before. And y'all know me, y'all know the point of me playing these older games. How does Spider-Man Web of Shadows hold up 13 years after its release date? We're gonna give this a decade stamp, because it's been over 10 years since this game came out. So how does this game feel? How does this game play in 2021? Well, honestly, hear me out. Let's talk through it. We're gonna be talking about the gameplay and story/characters. We'll also kind of talk about the visuals, but this is something that I kind of want to you know, stay away from, especially when dealing with older games, because they are older games.
And obviously they're not gonna look as pretty.
But we'll still make a comment about it. So starting off with the visuals, it does not look that bad. This is the biggest thing, at least for me, for a lot of people, when it comes to, like, older games, like, how does it look, and then the gameplay and how does it feel, and sometimes it can be kind of buggy. But this is the thing, compared to some of the older games, like the one in the Nintendo 64, this one really doesn't look that bad at all. I found myself getting pretty distracted. When I was into it, I didn't really feel like I was playing an old game. I was able to kind of, like, forget about that for a little bit, right? Any game that does that is, in my opinion, visually a good game. Gameplay. Yo, the fighting in this game is so much fun. There's something about the thud of the enemies when you're smacking them around as Red and freaking Black Spidey. When you do that combo with the freaking 100 punches when you have the Red Spidey, you think that feels so satisfying. When you're using the Black Spider-Man and you're doing all these area of effect, wide range, super cool moves, it's freaking dope. The fighting, which is the biggest point of this game, feels really, really good. The swinging, how does the swinging feel? I mean, especially being a Spider-Man game, this is also really important. I think it feels pretty good. While it is not the smoothest and best out of all of them, it feels pretty decent. That does not, you know, I am not saying it is not glitchy and it is not a little bit buggy, especially when you're swinging and going up walls, trying to traverse through walls. Some of the wall fights, that was a little bit iffy in terms of, like, gameplay and, like, and how it felt and glitchiness and lagginess. And also when I'm running up the walls or trying to do certain jumps off the wall, I always found myself, whenever I was trying to do something relating with walls in this game, it was pretty annoying. It didn't feel the best. It is an older game. It has its glitches. It has its things that make it an old game. Don't go into this game expecting a super smooth game, but the majority of the gameplay is fighting, and that feels so good and satisfying to me that I think it is worth it. The story/characters. I mean, this is probably not the main reason why you're playing Spider-Man, but here's the big thing. I'm a little bit biased. Yeah, boy. And there's probably a lot of other heroes and freaking Spidey fans that you're gonna want to play the game just because it's a Spider-Man game. You get that cool fan service. Spider-Man is really cool in this game. Peter Parker's pretty cool. I will say some of the dialogue that, you know, because this game is this game kind of has, like, a moral system, a morality scale. By no means does this game go super in depth with the morality scale like Fable or Mass Effect, but there are some key choices that impact some really cool cutscenes and some gameplay moments that are all hugely dependent on whether you choose to make the good decision and be the red Spidey suit, or make the evil decision and be the bad Spidey suit, the Black Spider-Man symbiote suit. There are some parts where if you pick the black Spider-Man suit, you know, they have this Spidey who's really like BA and tough and cool and evil and oh,
I don't care about other people because I am a black evil symbiote Spidey.
and some of these lines come across super cheesy. But that's okay because when Spidey looks like a BA, it works. It does work. And even the times that it just comes across as funny, it's funny. You laugh at it, you're like, dude, that's so cheesy, and it still works. I love the fact that whether you choose to be good Spidey or bad Spidey in those choices, at the end of the day, you get to play pretty much the whole game using both suits. So it's not like if you choose one suit, you have to play with that the entire game, or if you choose the other one, you have to use the other one. I love that. Making it so that the only reason you would really have to replay this game is if you want to see both storylines. But even then, I mean, unless you're really having a lot of fun playing it and you want to play it again, I would just say look up the video on YouTube and seeing the alternate scenes, because those can be pretty cool. In terms of story itself, I mean, it's not the most super crazy cool. It's not gonna keep you super like, let's just say this, it's not No The Last of Us, which I don't think many people were expecting. But if you played a game like this, which is very story driven, don't be expecting the same thing. But it's cool. It has a lot of fan service. It has Black Widow in it, and this Black Widow is actually Russian. She's got an accent. Wolverine's in this, which is freaking dope. Venom's one of my favorite anti-heroes, and he's like the main villain in this game, so I love it. And you have just an array of classic Spidey villains and characters. You get to see a tougher side of Mary Jane, which is kind of cool. Luke Cage is in it. Like, is it Moon Knight? I think it's Moon Knight or something like that. If you are a fan of Spidey and heroes, like, you're going to get enough out of the story to enjoy it. I do happen to be a huge nerd that, like, I didn't read all of the comics, but I've learned a lot about my superhero knowledge from video games, and playing this game helped me learn more from like some of these other heroes that I didn't know as much about, like Luke Cage and like Moon Knight. You know, all these characters, you can summon them to help fight with you, and it's actually super cool. You can also have conversations where you learn more about them, get to see more of their personality and a little bit of their backstory. Now, I blasted through this game. I was on break and I just you know, I wanted to just binge a game, and that is exactly what I did, and I do not regret it. It was amazing. Now, I don't do this with a lot of games, and I was trying to for a while, but I'm starting to move away from it just because if I do this with every single game, I am never going to be able to play all the games I want to play. I actually 100%ed this game, and it is the very first Xbox game that I have 100%ed, so that is super cool. If you want to watch my video where I talk about that, I will put a link to it down in the description, and I'll put it somewhere up here, and that's where I kind of talk about whether it's worth it to 100% the game and how to go about it. But in terms of this game itself and how does it hold up in 2021, if you're a Spider-Man fan, without a doubt, play this game. But now for what I think, for my personal rating scale on whether or not you should play this game after it's been 13 years since it came out. Is it worth playing this game?
Using my personal professionalized scale.
Bad, neutral, good, amazing, have to play. I would say this is a good game. It's not amazing. I'm not gonna say it's like, oh, you're gonna be super blah, blah, blah.
What?
If you are a Spider-Man fan, you might put it in that amazing category. But for the average gamer, if you're into these kind of beat 'em up games, if you're into hero, you're gonna have a good time with this game. It's not gonna be bad to go back. You're going to have a good time with this game. So yes, everyone, that is gonna do it for this review as to how Spider-Man Web of Shadows holds up in 2021. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Please comment down below with what you think of this game. If it is one of your older childhood games, comment down below what you think of it. If you've never played it, then after you saw this video, are you gonna want to play it? Do you want to check it out? But most importantly, again, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, Wolfpack. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Join one of the most amazing YouTube families on here. Check out my other channels too. And lastly, do not forget to join the Discord down in the description. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. Now that I'm doing all those shout outs, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Wolfpack. Cheers!